Welcome to the Blueprint Briefing. I am your host, Marcus Zaire. Today, we are conducting an architectural deep dive into the shifting foundations of American contemporary history. We aren't just looking at the news, we are analyzing the structural integrity of a movement in turmoil. There is a civil war of sorts erupting within the conservative movement. This isn't a battle of physical force, but a psychological and political chess match that will dictate the future of the American political landscape. This is the breakdown of the conservative identity crisis. To understand the present, we must look at the blueprints of the arguments being made. The sources reveal a fundamental split between two ideologies, mask on and mask off. The mask on faction represents the traditional public relations strategy of the movement. They utilize fluffy words and platitudes, emphasizing merit-based positions to maintain a palatable image for the masses. Their rhetoric focuses on a general love for America, while carefully avoiding language that would alienate a broad voting base. However, the mask-off faction has emerged to challenge this status quo. This group argues that the mask-on side is faking the funk. They are abandoning the coded language in favor of a direct, exclusionary focus on a white and Christian identity as the only true definition of America first. This faction is no longer interested in beating around the bush. They are demanding an explicit shift in the movement's core identity. The impact of this shift on daily political life is profound. In the mask-off world, the value of minority conservative voices is being called into question. Historically, the movement has utilized figures like Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, and Jason Whitlock to provide what the sources describe as skin cover, a way to argue that the movement as policies are not racially motivated. But the mask-off proponents are now labeling these individuals as diversity hires. The argument being made is that once the movement embraces its mask-off reality, these figures become obsolete because their primary function, providing a black face for the talking points, is no longer required by the base. We see this most clearly in the treatment of contemporary political figures like Vivek Ramaswamy. The sources report that mask-off adherents have stated directly to him, "I want to vote for you because you re-Indian." This is the raw reality of the mask-off movement, a rejection of pluralism in favor of demographic insulation. To analyze this factually, we must explore the linguistic and cultural roots of this rhetoric. This is not a new phenomenon. It is rooted in historical playbooks ranging from Jim Crow to segregation. The mask-on strategy utilizes coded language, a linguistic tactic where specific terms are used as proxies for broader demographic anxieties. For instance, the sources suggest that when some politicians say illegal immigration, the underlying cultural argument is often about the country, as demographic shift from white to non-white. The goal is cultural insulation, protecting a specific historical status quo under the guise of policy debates. Why is this happening now? To answer that, we must look at the hierarchy of ignorance, a class structure that defines the contemporary political machine. The elite, these are the architects at the top. They are not driven by ideology, but by the bag, profit, and power. The middle-class agitators. This buffer class includes influencers like Nick Fuentes. Their role is to translate elite interests into propaganda for the lower tiers, keeping the movement fueled and focused on palatable or unpalatable enemies. The low tier. These are the everyday citizens struggling with health care and livable wages. The civil war between mask on and mask off as a diversion tactic. By pointing the finger at the blacks and the browns, these agitators prevent the low-tier population from recognizing that they are being economically exploited by the elites. It is a classic historical strategy. Keep the poor fighting over identity so they don't fight for their own economic interests. Ultimately, the sources tell us to follow the money. This identity crisis is heavily influenced by outside capital PACs and sponsors who pay influencers to push specific agendas. As long as the engagement stays high and the checks clear, the rhetoric will continue to escalate. The mask-off movement is, in a sense, stripping away the organic labels of the political menu. Whether the door is closed or the polite will call you mask on or a blunt. We don't hire your kind mask off. The result for the marginalized remains the same. The door is closed. The mask off movement is exposing the cracks in the foundation of modern conservatism, showing that the perceived unity was often only skin deep. This is the reality of our current political history. This has been the Blueprint Briefing. I am Marcus Xavier. We have analyzed the structure. Now it is up to you to look at the world through this factual lens. Stay informed, stay objective, and keep analyzing the blueprints of our society.